on the road to fulfillment. We have conquered the moon and soon will be visiting other planets. Dare to dream the big dream. See yourself rich and powerful. Visualize yourself living in a beautiful home. See the car you want to drive as being luxurious. Visualize yourself owning your own business and becoming a millionaire. 4. Unimpeded vision of the future with its vast potentials has accounted for the building of many great fortunes in the past. See your possibilities as being infinite, no matter your present limitations of education or environment. Many people who live in small cities often complain, how can one achieve riches when one's opportunities are limited by living in a small town or city? A man named Peter Kuiper lived in a little village named Pella in Iowa. It has few opportunities to get rich, so this man began to search elsewhere for his opportunities. One day, he read an ad in a big city newspaper telling of a business opportunity which required a small investment. It was a business making a rolling window screen. At the time, this concern had only 3 employees. Pete Kuiper, with his expanded vision, decided to move the manufacturing firm to his small town, giving employment to his fellow citizens. Within a short time, Kuiper's business grew and expanded until he had 500 employees, and the factory spread over 200,000 square feet. It put the town of Pella, Iowa, on the map. In fact, Kuiper was so proud of his hometown that he called his products Pella Roll Screens, Pella Venetian Blinds, and Pella Casement Windows. 5. Find a basic human need and then fill that need. You will receive not only riches and recognition, but you will arouse mental magnetism, because you are working to give something of value to the world. 6. Create something that will help beautify the world, and you will attract a fortune. A man named Henry Rosenfeld, using this magnetic secret, decided he would make stylish dresses available to all women. He had tremendous competition, but he decided to turn out gowns that retailed for as high as $100 at rock-bottom prices. His first big order came from New York's Best & Company, when he sold them an order for 5,000 flannel gowns for only $9.75 each. He didn't even have an office in which to write up that first order. From that beginning, he went on to build a business that grossed $15 million a year, and he became one of the biggest men in the dress business. Rosenfeld likes to tell the story of how he programmed himself to become a millionaire. When he was only 9 years of age, he promised his mother that by the time he was 35 years old, he would be a millionaire. He said the happiest day of his life was on his 35th birthday, when he was able to show his mother a bank book with the sum of $1 million in his name. One man used this magnetic desire to bring beauty to women. He got the idea of bringing home permanent waves to them without the fuss and bother of sitting in a beauty parlor and paying from $15 to $30 for a permanent wave. This man had only $1,000 when he hit on the idea of making a home beauty kit that would give women good permanent waves at home. He called his product Tony Home Permanent, and within a short time, he was selling 2 million kits a month. Life magazine told the fascinating story of this man who later sold his company for $20 million. 7. One of the quickest ways to magnetize your brain centers is through the expression of faith. Have faith in yourself first. Know that you will attract the fortune you desire. Second, have faith in your product, for only when you believe in something with all your heart and soul can you inspire others to buy that product. A very inferior shoe salesman in New York could hardly sell a pair of shoes. He was timid, negative, and constantly felt that he was not impressing his customer with the necessity of buying his product. He began to study these principles of success, and after 3 months he decided that he had more to give to the world than he could in such a limited field. He saw an ad one day telling of a school that trained men to be super salesmen in insurance. He took this course and began to have the faith in himself that he could become one of the best salesmen in that field. Within 6 months from the time he finished his course, he was working for one of the biggest life insurance companies in the world. He had such confidence in himself that he was selected to go to branches of the company all over America and train salesmen. His salary jumped from a few thousand a year into the $45,000 bracket. Faith changed his whole approach to life and opened his eyes to his hidden potentials for greater success. 8. One of the most powerful methods for building money magnetism is to use the power of visualization and project the mental images of the things you want in your life. This art of fantasia, as it is called in Italian, is a mental exercise in which you sit quietly and hold in your mind the things that you want to do. If it is a large sum of money like $10,000 or more, you sit for a few moments visualizing yourself getting the money, and then you mentally spend it on the things you want. This art of fantasia is different from the mere act of imagining what it would be like to have $10,000. In the art of fantasia, you mentally project yourself into the future scene and actually experience the emotional impact of how you would feel and act if you suddenly had that money. You might visualize yourself winning it through a lottery or by entering a contest. You see yourself putting it into the bank. You mentally draw on that money and see yourself buying the things you desire. Points to remember. 1. Money is a man-made commodity, subject to the laws of economics as well as to the law of magnetic attraction. 2. The law of gravity or magnetism works to keep the heavenly bodies in their orbits, and this same power works mentally, physically, materially, and spiritually to bring you whatever you need to fulfill your destiny perfectly. 3. The richest people in the world are those who stir magnetic centers in the consciousness of others through service or giving something of value to the world. 4. The love of money is the root of all evil, not money itself. Desire money for the good you can do, and it will furnish you with a powerful magnet that will attract all the money you need. 5. Use the magnetism of desire to bring you money and make you a magnetic center for creative ideas that can make you rich. 6. Dr. Welch built a $1 million fortune by having a desire to give a non-alcoholic beverage to the world. He developed Welch's grape juice. 7. Release the creative power of your imagination to start the flow of money magnetism to your higher mind centers. 8. Build money awareness by practicing on cut-out pieces of paper and labeling them $100,000 each until you have magnetized $1 million. 9. A higher master motive than merely wanting money can magnetize your brain centers and cause you to attract fame, fortune, and success in every part of your life. 10. Expand your consciousness to big things through the big dream of success and riches. 11. A small town man with a big vision built one of the biggest firms in his town that employed 500 people and put the town of Pella, Iowa on the map. 12. A desire to beautify the world has built some of the world's greatest fortunes through beauty products, home products, architecture, manufacturing of cars, and dozens of other items that give usefulness and beauty to the world. 13. Use the magnetic property of faith to bring you money and fame. Chapter 2. How to release the golden nuggets of your mind that can make you rich. Your mind possesses a creative power that can convert your thoughts into a stream of golden nuggets that can make you successful, famous, and rich. The power to change your creative thoughts into outer material riches and success lies within your own subconscious mind. This higher intelligence knows everything there is to know about you and your hidden potentials for greatness. It can guide you unerringly to the fulfillment of your big money goals and bring you financial security and fulfillment of your every wish. This chapter reveals this secret power for releasing the golden nuggets of your mind that can make you rich. If you tell your subconscious mind, "I want you to bring me ideas to make $1 million," your subconscious will know whether you actually possess that ability or not. If you do not have the capacity for making $1 million, it will send through ideas that can bring you as much money as you are capable of visualizing. You can build your creative mind power to encompass as much money as you want, but you must first be sure that you have the capacity to understand how much you really need and can honestly produce. This is the reason why most people are limited in their ability to attract a fortune. They have had little or no business training. Sometimes they are uneducated and ignorant, and they consciously know that they cannot attract the large fortune they desire. Such people are doomed to disappointment when they try to become rich. They soon give up trying and fall back into their old habit patterns of thinking in terms of small salaries and limited luxuries. How to program the subconscious mind with golden nuggets. You have undoubtedly read the fairy tale about the goose that laid the golden eggs. The farmer was delighted at first to receive these golden eggs each day, but as time passed, his greed got the best of him, and he thought instead of taking only one egg a day, why not kill the goose and get all the golden eggs at one time? Of course, when he did, that was the end of the golden goose and there were no more golden eggs. Your subconscious mind can be programmed with golden nuggets of thought that will produce a perpetual stream of golden ideas that you can turn into cash or its equivalents. Your subconscious mind can be programmed with these golden ideas each day until it actually becomes a rich repository of money-making ideas that bring you instant cash or the equivalents of money. The power of your higher mind is stupendous. It knows all secrets. It knows things you do not know. In research done recently by scientists, it is now found possible for your higher mind to reach out, even when you sleep, and contact some higher mind, which mystics call cosmic mind, and learn secrets that have been hidden for years. A young woman had such an experience recently. She had taken care of her invalid father for 5 years. When he died suddenly, she was left without money on which to live. She was confident, however, that she would be taken care of. She went to bed one night and her father appeared to her, as in a dream, and talked to her. "I know you are worried about money," he said, "but I left you well provided for. In the old chest of drawers in the living room you will find a hidden compartment. Put your hand in there, and you will find money I have hidden over the years to take care of you." The girl awakened and went to the old chest of drawers. She put her hand in the secret compartment and there found a big roll of bills in denominations from $20 to $100. Her father had not trusted banks, having lost money in the Depression days, and he had deposited $15,000 in cash in that chest of drawers. The girl's subconscious mind had been told in a dream of this secret hiding place. Golden nugget. Now 1. I will make $100,000 or more. When you have programmed this golden nugget into your subconscious mind by repeating it at least 10 times, you will then program the following statements into your higher mind. I desire $100,000 or more to fulfill my money goals in the immediate future. I wish to receive some big idea that will reveal to me the method by which I can begin the flow of gold immediately to meet all my needs. Write this subconscious mind motivator down on a filing card. Keep this card where you can read it every day, morning, noon, and night, preferably in your pocket. You may also tape it on your wall where you can see it frequently, reminding your subconscious mind that you expect to receive vital money information that will guide you to the sums of money you desire. Golden nugget. Now 2. I shall become a big success in my own business, in which I shall make $50,000 or more a year. Then write on a filing card the following subconscious motivators. I wish to be shown what talent I have and how I can commercialize on this talent by going into my own business, where I can create something valuable and useful to the world. I project my own office, my own staff of workers, and I see my efforts being rewarded with big success. Note, if you wish some specific business, you must name the type of business. Examples include, I wish to become a big interior decorator. I wish to be a successful landscape architect. I would like my own beauty parlor. I would like to open my own restaurant or bar or barbershop. Whatever it is you feel you should do, tell your subconscious mind specifically in simple words, and the subconscious mind will program it within the computer-like structure of its higher mind, and release the information to your conscious mind that will lead you into the exact type of business you desire. If you do not know the type of business you would like to open, leave it up to your own subconscious mind, for it knows even better than you do your unique talents, and how you can find the pathway to riches through your subconscious mind. An example from my files will prove this point fully. A woman who was working as a secretary for a big manufacturing concern grew tired of working for a small weekly salary. After learning how she could program her subconscious mind through my classes in New York City, she began to use this method to go into her own business. But what could she do? She knew of no specific talent she had, and had only been trained for secretarial work. This woman wrote down on her programming sheet the following golden nugget, and fed it into her subconscious mind every day for 4 weeks, using only 5 minutes 3 times a day for her subconscious programming work. I wish to be shown how to go into a productive business. I want to make the sum of $15,000 or more a year. I wish to have enough money to take care of my 2 children, to buy a new home in the country, to own a new car, and to have security for the future. After writing down these golden nuggets and putting them into her subconscious mind, she awaited results confidently, expectant of success. One day, when she was taking a trip on an airplane going to Chicago on some business for her company, she sat next to a man who began talking to her about his work. He was a traveling sales representative for a large manufacturing concern specializing in household products. His company was opening up new offices in different cities and needed responsible representatives that could interview employees, apportion districts for salesmen, and act as agents in certain localities. Before they had reached Chicago, this man was so impressed by the young woman's ability that he hired her to take charge of the new office in her New York area. From that beginning, she went on to making commissions and salary that brought her more than the $15,000 a year she had programmed her subconscious mind for. Now this woman has embarked on a sales training program where she instructs hundreds of salesmen for her company on the principal points to stress in selling their products. From this new venture, she hopes to soon be in the $50,000 a year class. Golden nugget number 3. I wish to be shown how to make money through real estate, stocks and bonds, or other investments. Many big fortunes have been built through investments in real estate, the stock market, gold mines, oil wells, and other investments in natural resources. This type of subconscious programming should be started early in life and continued until you achieve the fortune you desire. Here is the form of subconscious conditioning that this requires. Say these words over several times, and then write them down on a filing card, looking at them at least 2 or 3 times a day, until your subconscious mind is programmed with these golden nuggets for money. I wish to become a successful real estate operator, or to be shown how to invest in the right stocks or other resources that can bring me a fortune in the future. A man who used this type of subconscious programming in Los Angeles, California, was guided by his higher mind to buy land in San Fernando Valley before it had become so expensive. From his early investment in corner lots, he later made $2 million. A woman lecture member in New York City used this same subconscious mind programming technique to secure her future. She put down that she wished to have $100,000 or more through land development and through stock market investments. She had little money to start, but one day she went on a vacation to the Bahamas, and there she found a land development that she could invest in with only a little money and payments each month, which she could afford. She bought property overlooking the waterfront. The Grand Bahamas became a big tourist attraction a few years later, and she realized $50,000 from that investment. This same woman did the same thing with property in Arizona and Albuquerque, New Mexico, investing in corner lots with small down payments. She held these 5 years and realized a profit of more than $25,000 on each investment. But her subconscious mind, the goose that lays the golden eggs, had not finished giving her rich dividends for her mental work. She had also asked that she be shown how to invest in stocks that would make her successful. One day, a man who was concerned with selling her some of the land in Arizona, which she bought, told her she should buy a particular stock. It was selling for only $2 a share. She bought 1,000 shares and held it a short time. This stock had a phenomenal rise, going up to $60 a share. She sold it just a little under the peak and made thousands of dollars more. Now this woman has retired in her beautiful home near Phoenix, Arizona, to enjoy the financial security she won through subconscious mind programming. Golden nugget number 4. I wish to develop some great creative talent that will permit me to give something special to the world. Most of the world's talented people started out in life with ordinary goals. Only when they programmed their subconscious minds with extraordinary ideas did they begin to discover the special talent they possessed, which could bring them fame and fortune. To program this golden nugget into your subconscious mind, write down the following conditioner on a filing card and look at it several times a day until it automatically triggers some reaction from your higher mind, which will start you on the road to fulfillment of your desire. I would like to become an artist. Here it is important that you write down the specific talent you want to develop. You may select as many as 4 or 5, for generally, when your subconscious mind releases one gift, it automatically triggers other talents you possessed, but which you had not yet recognized. You may select any of the following gifts or make up your own list: writing stories or poetry or TV dramas, interior decorating, inventing, composing music, advertising, singing, acting or dancing, playing an instrument, dress designer, architect, public speaking. After you have chosen the talents you want to develop, write down the following subconscious conditioners. I know that my subconscious mind can give me guidance as to how to develop this special talent. I ask that I be shown how to release the golden nuggets of creative thought that can make me famous, rich, and successful. When you have completed this subconscious conditioner, read it over several times a day, and then sit daily and wait for instructions from your higher mind as to what steps you should take to bring your creative talents to full maturity. A top dress designer for Hollywood movie stars was once a student of mine when I lectured in that city. She is now a top dress designer, having been nominated 3 times for an Oscar for Best Designer. This young lady had worked as a waitress until she learned how to project the golden nugget of thought that she could become a great designer. She now makes a salary of $50,000 a year. Golden nugget number 5. I wish to receive money or its equivalents in rewards, jewels, houses, cars, land, or other things of value through the use of my present abilities. Very often you can program your subconscious mind to release money or its equivalents instantly, wherever you are, and with whatever abilities you now possess. This means that you do not need to wait for some future, distant day to be a success, nor do you need to develop an unusual talent. Using the tools of mind you now possess, your subconscious mind can show you how to start the instantaneous flow of riches into your life with this golden nugget of thought. Sit quietly and concentrate your mind power on the following subconscious conditioner when you desire the rewards just given. I wish to now trigger instant action from my subconscious mind. I want the sum of $500 for my immediate expenses. Here you may substitute the sum that you actually have faith in and that you really need at once. I desire a beautiful home of my own in the immediate future. I wish to own a car, beautiful clothing, jewels, and household furnishings that I need. I want to have a color TV set, air conditioner, a hi-fi set, tape recorder, a big refrigerator, and other material objects. After you have programmed your subconscious mind with these conditioners, read the list over every day until you begin to see results. Do not become discouraged and give up. You may not have any money in the bank, and you may not know how you could possibly receive the items you have put down on your golden nugget ledger, but believe that somehow you will be the recipient of the gifts you have requested from your higher mind. A student of mine in New York City put down on her list that she wanted a beautiful mink coat. It was cold in winter, and she decided she should own a warm coat, but she had no money with which to buy such a coat. However, she wrote it down on her subconscious list of things she desired and confidently awaited results. Within 1 week, a very wealthy woman called an agency and asked for a practical nurse to be sent to help in her home. Her aged husband was very sick and required constant medical attention. This student of mine had taken a course in practical nursing and worked on special cases, but she did not make much money. She responded to the call from the nursing agency, who often sent her out on cases. She was delighted to find that her employer lived on Park Avenue in a luxury apartment. One cold February night, as the nurse was putting on her cloth coat to go home, the wealthy woman said to her, "Why, it's bitter cold out. You'll freeze with that thin coat." She went to a closet in her bedroom and returned with a beautiful mink coat that must have cost $5,000 when new. She said, "Here, I want you to have this coat. It's like new, as I seldom wear it. My husband bought me a new one for Christmas, and I want you to have this." The nurse had her fur coat that she had projected in her subconscious mind conditioner, and it had not cost her a cent. Golden nugget number 6. I have a desire to help my family, to educate my children, to give them a beautiful home environment and security for the future. This golden nugget can be programmed into your subconscious mind, and it will serve as the motivating force in back of your every act to make money or be successful. Thousands of new inventions, creative ideas, and money-making discoveries have been released from the subconscious mind under the impetus of this subconscious conditioner. Write down the following words on a filing card to trigger this automatic action for bringing your family benefits. I wish to help my family live a better life. I desire for them a higher education and opportunities to become successful. I wish to receive inspiration for ideas that will bring me monetary and other forms of success, so I may give them financial and emotional security in the future. A man was watching his wife open a can in the kitchen one evening. The can opener, one of the old-fashioned kind, slipped and cut her hand. The man searched for a piece of cloth with which to bind the wound. Finally, he fashioned a clumsy bandage and applied it, realizing, however, that it could easily infect his wife's hand. He found himself thinking, If only there were some ready-made, sterile bandage that could be instantly applied, what a lot of suffering it would save. He had released a golden nugget of creative thought to his subconscious mind, without being aware of it. Within a few days, he suddenly got an idea to create a simple, sterile bandage that could instantly be applied by even a child. In that moment was born the bandage known as a Band-Aid, and its creator, Robert W. Johnson, went on to make a multi-million-dollar-a-year business out of the golden nugget that he had fed into his subconscious mind. Points to remember. 1. The power to change your creative thinking into solid golden nuggets that can bring you money, fame, power, or anything else that you desire is yours. 2. The goose that lays the golden eggs releases a golden nugget a day from your subconscious mind for money, your own business, or building some great creative talent. 3. A young woman released the golden nuggets of her mind to bring her the sum of $15,000 that her dead father had hidden in a chest of drawers. 4. A woman who worked for a big manufacturing concern programmed that she would come into big money. She met a man on a plane who made her a district representative, and she was soon making $15,000 a year from sales and commissions. 5. The golden nugget concept can show you how to make money through real estate, stocks and bonds, or other investments. 6. A woman who used this subconscious mind programming asked for $100,000 or more through land investments. She bought property in the Grand Bahamas, Arizona, and New Mexico, and in a few years she realized that sum from her investments. 7. The golden nugget can help you develop a great creative talent to become an artist, writer, inventor, composer, a singer or actor or dancer, or anything else you choose as your talent. 8. A top Hollywood dress designer programmed that she would build a big income. She has had 3 Oscar nominations and is now in the $50,000 a year income class. 9. Trigger instant subconscious golden nuggets to bring you money or jewels, clothing, TV sets, hi-fi sets, refrigerators, or any other material object you desire. 10. A woman instantly obtained a $5,000 mink coat when she didn't have a penny in the bank. 11. You can trigger subconscious gold from the mental conditioner to enable you to help your family, educate your children, and give them financial security for the future. 12. A man built a multi-million-dollar-a-year business through this subconscious golden nugget and developed Band-Aids. Chapter 3. How to build the million-dollar consciousness for personal wealth. You can magnetize your higher mind centers with the million-dollar consciousness and begin to instantly think, feel, look, and live like a millionaire. It is in the mental realm that you first must begin to think you are going to be a millionaire. In the realm of the mind, all things are possible. Mental concepts have always preceded physical action and material achievement. It was in his mind that man first visualized himself flying like a bird. Realization of this dream came after he had built the consciousness that he could fly. In back of every great fortune, there is the million-dollar consciousness first. Every person who became a millionaire first had to think in terms of big money and success. A limited consciousness brings a limited income. When you expand your mind and visualize new money horizons, you will soon be thinking like a successful and rich person. In this chapter, we shall study the techniques for building the million-dollar consciousness so that you can begin instantly to think, talk, look, and act like you already have the million-dollar fortune you are projecting. Regimen to build the million-dollar consciousness. 1. To imprint the idea of infinite riches on your higher consciousness, take the millionaire's secret vow of riches. Every person who achieves a big fortune has made a secret pact with his higher subconscious mind. Sometimes it is no more than just a mental determination to be rich and successful. Sometimes it is more clearly and deliberately stated in written or spoken form and becomes a dynamic command to the subconscious mind to build a fortune. The millionaire's secret vow of riches. Repeat the following secret vow of riches every day for the next month until it becomes so firmly engraved on your subconscious mind that it is an automatic part of your mental and physical reflex action. I now take the millionaire's vow for riches. I recognize that there are infinite treasures in the cosmic cornucopia of riches and abundance. I draw upon the unlimited resources of the universe for my own enrichment. I desire unlimited supplies of money and material goods so that I may use my riches to help my family and to give something of value to the world. I recognize that I am only a channel for the release of God's treasures for the enrichment of the world. I therefore vow that I shall do only good with my future fortune. I take an oath that I shall use money to help uplift those who are downtrodden, to liberate those imprisoned by poverty, to idealize the standards of the world, to strive to help children, the sick, the poor, the imprisoned, the blind and crippled, so they may know greater joy. I shall use my money and earthly treasures to educate, inspire, and uplift humanity, to help bring peace to the world, to banish discrimination and racial prejudice, to bring about equality for all, and to use my supply and abundance for the good of humanity and the greater glory of God. When you once involve the thought of riches in your subconscious mind, it begins to evolve the methods for you to achieve the fortune you desire. A man who married when he was 24 was so poor that he didn't have the money to buy an engagement ring. On the day of his wedding, he gave his wife a check made out for a date 25 years from that day for $25,000. He told his wife to cash the check on that future date. Both of them forgot this beautiful wedding gift from a loving but poor husband. But the man's subconscious mind did not forget this vow of riches that was prompted by his loving heart. Exactly 25 years later, this man was a millionaire, and one day his wife ran across the check, and on their 25th wedding anniversary, she cashed it without question or doubt that it would be good. Such is the power of your higher mind when you program it with the million-dollar consciousness. It will set about automatically to bring you everything you involve in your higher mind centers. Another interesting example of how the subconscious mind never forgets a vow of riches when it is sincerely made was that of another man who married a girl with no future prospects that he would ever be rich. However, he vowed to her on their wedding day that on their 10th wedding anniversary, he would present her with a special gift, a $10,000 string of real pearls. This man became a big business success in that period of time, and right on schedule, he gave his wife a beautiful pearl necklace worth $10,000. 2. Create your own Golden Hall of Fame, where you join the invisible brotherhood of rich, famous, and influential people. To do this, you obtain a scrapbook, the type you put snapshots in, then cut out of magazines and newspapers the pictures and names of people who are rich, famous, successful, or gifted in some special way. This Golden Hall of Fame can include movie stars, TV personalities, political figures, millionaires in industry, inventors, composers, great lawyers, doctors, explorers, writers, artists, space astronauts, sports stars, scientists, educators, religious leaders. In fact, any person you admire or that you wish to emulate and pattern your success after. A few of these famous people you might want to add to your Golden Hall of Fame might be Onassis, Rockefeller, Howard Hughes, J. Paul Getty, Bing Crosby, W. Clement Stone, Churchill, the late President Roosevelt, Muhammad Ali, or any other person you admire. If you do not have a photograph from a magazine or newspaper, just write down the person's name on the page. Then put your photograph on the same page with these famous and successful people. Each night, just before going to bed, look at yourself in the Golden Hall of Fame with these illustrious persons and give yourself the following subconscious programming for riches. I now elevate myself to the Golden Hall of Fame with the immortals, the rich, the successful, and I program my subconscious mind to make me worthy of a place alongside these illustrious persons. I ask for the talents and the riches and recognition that these people have earned, and promise myself that I shall strive to be worthy of the high goals and the riches that I ask for. I have confidence in my ability to rise to high places, and I now accept the glory and recognition that shall be mine. 3. Take an inventory of your present treasures. Realize that you may already be enjoying some things that all millionaires do not now have. You cannot always equate money with happiness. You may have the health, happiness, and peace of mind that is often denied to those who have millions. It is always good to take a mental inventory of your present riches and to realize that you may already have treasures that money in itself cannot buy. In the past few years, 5 multimillionaires committed suicide. They had everything money could buy, but they were so miserable they could not face life. You can have millions and still be happy, but without millions, you should not be miserable. If you correctly inventory your present treasures, you will find you may have more than many millionaires. The $1,000,000 inventory should include A. Peace of mind. B. Good friends who like you for yourself, not your money. C. Good health, mentally and physically, without pain or anxiety about the future. D. Love, happiness, marriage, a family of your own. These are treasures money cannot buy. E. Creative work that you enjoy and which you do not do just for money, but for satisfaction. F. Peace of soul with faith in God and spiritual security, which gives you the treasures of spirit, are often denied to those who make money their God. To show you how millions of dollars do not always buy happiness, I once was in a barber shop when a very rich man came in to have his hair cut. It was obvious he was a very rich man by the way everyone bustled to wait on him. The manicurist rushed to his side. The shoe-shine boy began to polish his shoes. The barber practically bowed as he began to give him a haircut and shave. The man had a big diamond stick pin in his tie, which was in the shape of a horseshoe. He wore a huge diamond ring on his finger. His clothes were tailor-made and obviously expensive. He was, one could see at a glance, a big shot. When this man left the barber shop, he gave everyone a generous tip, and my barber turned to me and said, "Do you know who that man was?" I said, "No. Who was he?" He replied, "That's one of the big racketeers in this city. He owns racehorses, has beer trucks, numbers rackets, and everything you could name that is illegal. He's worth millions of dollars." Then he went on to tell me that the man suffered from high blood pressure, had recently had 2 severe heart attacks, his wife had just run off with a younger man, and his 6-year-old son had just been run over by a truck. Yes, you guessed it, by a beer truck. The barber went on to say, that man's money can buy him everything but love, peace of mind, health, happiness, and his son's life. I wanted to also add, his money can buy him everything but heaven. Yes, you can have $1 million and still be happy, but if you make money your God, you will probably lose out on the true spiritual, mental, and moral treasures of life. 4. Protect your image of the wealth you will one day have by now taking a mental inventory of the things you want money for in the future. Your subconscious mind will be deeply impressed by such a survey of the riches you hope to have and the things you wish to do with your money. You can call this projection of future wealth. Your money blueprint for the future. Under this heading list the things you want money for and the sums of money you feel you need for future security. Your list might look like the following, or you can make up one to suit your exact needs. A. I would like work in which I shall be able to make $15,000 a year to meet my future needs. B. I would like to be in my own business making $50,000 or more a year. Here, try to be specific, telling your subconscious mind if you want a restaurant, a beauty shop, a health food store, a machine shop, a garage, an interior decorating business, a photographic studio, or some kind of business where you give service to the public such as accounting, repairing machines, income tax returns, health services, or any other special type of service. C. I would like to buy a new car of the following make, model, and color. Here describe the type of car you desire and the approximate cost. Do not be ashamed to buy a second-hand car if your pocketbook is not overflowing with money at present, for this is a beginning, and later it can be turned in on a new car. I know a very wealthy man and his wife who could afford to buy a new car every year, but for 25 years, he told me, he has bought a second-hand Cadillac with about 50,000 miles on it. He was told by a good mechanic that a Cadillac is just about broken in at that time and is a much better buy than a new car. He keeps the car an average of 5 years and then turns it in on another one, thus keeping up on modern mechanical improvements. D. I want to buy a home of my own in which to bring up my family and give them comfort and security. I want the house to be located in the country. Here it is important to state the location you want, the style of architecture, the number of rooms, and other details about its furnishings. It is also important to pick the class of house you want. If it is to be a small cottage, obviously your money requirements will be more reasonable than if it is to be a mansion. It is important that you let your subconscious mind know what you expect, for it must prepare itself to reveal the methods by which you can make the larger sums to pay for the bigger house. For example, a man and his wife in California came into our work and learned about subconscious money programming. They were married and had 2 children when I met them, but the man was working for a salary in a leather goods store where he was a salesman and made good commissions. However, they could never look forward to big sums of money nor a big house. This man had been reared in Texas, and his father had a leather goods shop where he manufactured handmade wallets, handbags for women, makeup kits, and even fancy cowboy boots for rodeo stars. When he told me his big ambitions, I quoted the Bible and asked, "What hast thou in thine house?" He replied, "I am good in making leather objects." Then he showed me a handmade leather wallet made of ostrich skin, which he had created. It cost him only the price of the leather, and it was easily worth $150 on the market. He said, "But I don't have the money to open a shop." He then told me he had a leather sewing machine in his home, so I told him, "Why don't you begin with what you now have and take orders for wallets, boots, and handbags from your friends, and do the work in your spare time in your own apartment?" He had not thought of that, but he decided he would begin the following week. He had cards made up, telling of his specialty in handmade leather goods and featuring a pair of cowboy boots in color on the front of his card. He later told me the astounding story of how his subconscious mind shaped his entire money-making desires into a practical idea to instantly bring him a bigger income. A friend of his, for whom he made a pocketbook for free, received one of his cards. He worked in studios as a carpenter, and it just happened that he had met one of the big cowboy stars at that particular studio. This man was always buying new boots, holsters, saddles, and other leather goods for his work. One day he called up this leather worker and ordered a half-dozen pair of boots, a new holster, and other equipment, including a suede jacket for his wife. The upshot of this was that the movie star was so impressed by this man's work that he offered to back him in his own shop and told him he could pay the money back as he earned it. If he lost, he could take it off his taxes. With this big loan, the man from Texas opened a small leather business, hired 3 assistants, and with his connection with studios already formed, other cowboy stars, recording artists, and the general public began to patronize his business. Now, exactly 3 years later, this man has one of the most successful leather goods manufacturing businesses on the West Coast. He repaid the movie star's loan, put a big down payment on his dream home out in San Fernando Valley, and is on his way to making his first $1 million. I want the sum of $100,000 for future overall security, so I may have the leisure to travel, to advance my cultural interests, and to give my children a higher education. This general overall statement can include specific things you want in your life that will require large sums of money. If you know these things and write them down on your future money inventory, they will be caught up in the automatic processes of your computer like subconscious mind and be more likely to evolve. If you do not have any such specific goals or sums of money in mind, you will never receive subconscious guidance to the achievement of your higher money goals. A woman in California used this method to program into her subconscious mind that she wanted the sum of $1,000 for a specific immediate need. She had 2 children, a boy of 17 and a girl of 19. She wanted them to have a trip to Hawaii during their summer vacation. She and her husband had been to Hawaii on their honeymoon, and she wanted her children to share in that wonderful trip, so they would have beautiful memories for the future. I want to buy a home of my own, in which to bring up my family and give them comfort and security. I want the house to be located in the country. Here it is important to state the location you want, the style of architecture, the number of rooms, and other details about its furnishings. It is also important to pick the class of house you want. If it is to be a small cottage, obviously your money requirements will be more reasonable than if it is to be a mansion. It is important that you let your subconscious mind know what you expect, for it must prepare itself to reveal the methods by which you can make the larger sums to pay for the bigger house. For example, a man and his wife in California came into our work and learned about subconscious money programming. They were married and had 2 children when I met them, but the man was working for a salary in a leather goods store where he was a salesman and made good commissions. However, they could never look forward to big sums of money nor a big house. This man had been reared in Texas, and his father had a leather goods shop where he manufactured handmade wallets, handbags for women, makeup kits, and even fancy cowboy boots for rodeo stars. When he told me his big ambitions, I quoted the Bible and asked, "What hast thou in thine house?" He replied, "I am good in making leather objects." Then he showed me a handmade leather wallet made of ostrich skin, which he had created. It cost him only the price of the leather, and it was easily worth